There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling out people who waiting to serve. The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The brothers giving us here and the promise from them. The work of my life without fear.
A lyrical health.
Master.
Les balles sont avec yo, I can't Sktv-Lib. C'est ma chenille, tina ke ase ma yamo. Engi sano muni, emu aye yo. Engi lofa moi, emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
Ena Guinea ya tumare, ena Salia ya tumare, ena Conakry ya tumare, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumare, ena Guinea ya tumare, ena Salia ya tumare, ena Conakry ya tumare, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumare, ena Nigeria ya tumare, Sktv, ena Nigeria, tosi wako maya tumare.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Calling out people who waiting to serve. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the promise from best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, Sano to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Of the rule of law demands full accountability following the seizure of a large quantity of cocaine in Brazil and reaffirmed Monday, July 27 March for Job and Justice. Comrades and friends, as the local militants of massacre, intellectual participants, apostles of massacre realism, revolutionary scholars, students, waiters and waitresses, motors.
These are supporters with prayer warriors for the rescuers of Manafina Polo. As you can listen, they are singing gospel songs and heavily praising and worshiping God with a song that says, "It can't be God."
Every separation,
So the officer are saying the guy emergency. So folks, for Joseph Jess Jr., this is Spoon TV coming to you last from the grounds of the Mogupe Central Prison. Where Madam No she is expected to be released from the central prison following a release order from
Facebook. Sorry, those of you who just joining, indeed, good evening to all of you. May good afternoon, good morning, good day to all of you. It's wet Wednesday here in Liberia, especially in Peaceville. From our end here, people, we're back on the farm. It's getting interesting day by day. Help us share the show. We gone little 12 minutes of our time. Sorry, we came on a little bit late, but it's good to be on your airwave. It's good to be right to your doorstep. You know, some of you always reaching out to us, but it's getting interesting though in Central Monrovia. So many things happen. That's why for some people keep saying, when you know that the system is going nowhere, you tell people to get angry. Now they kind of system you can make it yourself. By the way, Finabono will be released very soon. The Temple of Justice, or in fact the Supreme Court, order the release of Finabono. Well, in that's why in fact you even tell somebody to bring $8 million bond. What kind of problem is this? But I don't want back, man. People, yeah, help us share the show. The show be hot more than ever before. Look, today the 22nd though. I'm not forget to also all of you. Yeah, you know. But anyway, the rest of the other team, they, yeah, man, they little stress from our end was not so easy, but back, thank God, at least after running up and down, at least. So James David, good evening. Musa Sharif, good evening, good afternoon to all of you. Imara Bro, good afternoon, good morning. Robert Fasulu Jackley, good afternoon, good morning. We into the season, so you got to, in fact, we'll put a basket down, you know. Yeah, we got to get the basket rolling so that some of you there who are love of the media, you know, let me tell you, even though some of you get your anger attitude, don't bring your anger behavior or your anger attitude towards the media. Because the media are the only institution, or in fact, they are the only group of people or sector that don't sleep. What are the good? We will talk it. What are the bad people? We will talk it. And you know the reason why some of you see like, oh, Liberian media, they can't talk anything good. No. Because they bad thing more than the good. So you don't expect, like for example, 30 years old man rape 5 years old child. So you want other news to sleep just because you don't want the media to talk bad. No. So who will talk for that child? So always look at some of these things and don't get angry. So we'll put our basket down, and some of you got to put something into the basket. Some of the numbers that are running on these are some of the numbers. Until when Aliu come on, then we'll put the other numbers down so that you'll be able to at least put something into the basket for the team. You know, yes, for the hard work, for everything that we've been doing here. But it's getting interesting, my people. From $19.2 million worth of drugs to 318 or 370. Yeah, man. Don't deport me from Liberia. That's the only thing I can tell people. If you want to deport any other person or you want to deport me, please don't deport me from Liberia. But again, the team will join us here very soon. So, like some of you are saying, Efanso Tele, you are getting it right. They are not making Finabono to become hero. And how they make some toy to be hero. Go to jail. That is very easy. Just go to jail. That's all. Then the voters. Those voters, those people who stood under the rain, under the sun, that went to, you know, you can say the poo-poo water. Some of you can always say the kind of thing that went under that poo-poo water that time, where some of them, they lose their relationship. Yes. Sometimes when these things happen, whenever there is this kind of gallery or so forth, so many things happen. Some people lost their relationship. Some people lost their businesses. Everything go away from them just because to get the government into power. But even call today, someone they can't even get anymore. Even that messages or that message, they can't get anymore. He said that he say you praising. He's going to be praising people. Something may be wrong with you. But again, you have help us, man. We're sharing the show. Yeah, the other team. We join us very, very soon. So that Finabono now. Finabono from the time to hero. You know, yeah, the lady that sang the song said our sympathy, man, to the bereaved family. Yeah, you know, I understand that the gospel side, in fact, is that Lama? Yes, they bereaved, and I'm getting on. In fact, they knew that Manaketo is no more. You know, and the woman that sang that from zero, you know, to hero. Yeah, you know, I think we'll also part through with that later on. We're still trying to get some of the information corrected about from all indications from all of the sources. We are getting the news that in the Chinomo, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get one of our track or song here and play it, and also and tell you. But again, we also getting information that the Minister of Justice, Councillor Oswald 12, will address the press. Oh, I told my own man again. Oh, how can again Gregory come on and addressing press again? Yeah, man. That's what bring Gregory come on to kind of address the press again. He say Oswald 12. But again, we move. Mr. Tishu, good evening, good afternoon, good morning.
Good evening, good afternoon, good
Mr.
morning. I'm
Tissue?
laughing at what you said. You're not very. Yeah, hello, you hear me?
Wow. I don't know what I said. My papa really do inside
Hello?
there. Really give me a tell. Yeah, man. Mr.
Anyone?
Tissue. Yeah.
You gotta unmute me, please.
Wow.
You gotta unmute me.
Yeah, Mr. Tissue, go ahead.
Hello?
No, I'm not telling me. I'm getting you though. You are live. I'm getting you. He said,
You hear me? Hello? You hear me?
Mr. Tissue, I don't know, but we getting you. I don't know what you like. Why are you not getting us,
I'm listening to you. I'm hear you clearly.
Mr. Tissue?
Okay, I will just go on. Yeah?
Yeah, I know, but I'm not getting him. And when I get Mr. Tissue, that means we'll not be able to get him on the radio. That's the thing. So I know that maybe sometimes to be based on the network or the network system rather. Maybe sometimes this thing happen, but I have to get Mr. Tissue live. Mr. Tissue,
Yeah, you have to unmute me. That is it. You have to unmute me.
but we get you're not muted. I mean, when I'm going to mute you, then you talk about that. Then I'll say, yeah, but I'm getting you. It's just that you just coming in that maybe
Okay.
you book. By the way, yeah. Let me have Julius. In fact, Lofa Julius joining us sometime when based on his schedule. But Lofa been a little bit busy. Thank God at least today is Wednesday, and he come on the right time. Well, in fact, the basket will be to the people, and the city is very busy. Send the entire 20. I don't know how we're going to celebrate the entire 26. Is that basic 26 or what? By the way, Lofa, Lofa, the 26 is very basic. But it is the kind of look. Let me not call you up quickly, Lofa, before you come on. In fact, my first time seeing a 26 that were basic equal to the 26 was during the charge state of time. When I can say because some of you when former President Charles Taylor make that pronouncement that in fact will fight from street to street, will fight from horse to horse, there where the 26 were basic. But the other 26 is like a more than ever, even though we're 20, but it's very basic. Thank you, my dear brother. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you, Melbourne. Hopefully you can hear me and everyone else following via the radio and social media can hear me as well. Brother Deshil, how you doing? Welcome as well. Thank you, all. Just do a little sound check for me, Melbourne. Can you hear me clear?
You hear me?
You are
You can hear
100%,
me, Lofa? How are
100%.
you?
But
I can
okay,
hear you,
I'm not
Mr.
getting it
Deshil.
now. Yes, I'm not getting a Mr. Tissue, and I'm also getting low for 100%. So
Okay, thank you.
you people are good to go.
Okay, perfect.
Thank, thank you.
Okay,
So
perfect.
let me
That's right
start
there.
off.
Okay,
Let me
Lofa,
start
go
off.
on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now you were here before me, Mr. Deshil. I think it's only fair that you go before me. Go ahead.
That's the problem with Mr. Tissue. So
Okay.
Lofa, go
So, so
ahead.
let me
Well,
start off
the,
first of all by saying you know part of what I suspected and part of what we spoke on uh prior to experiencing this is what is going on right now. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, thank you. Lofa, go.
Sorry, I had to
Yes.
ignore that call. So
Oh, okay.
what I intended to say, and I apologize to our listening audience, but in order to move Liberia forward, Mayborn, we need a unifier. The biggest problem Liberia faces today is how divided the country is. The country is divided in two ways. One group feel like they are either being targeted or being ignored, and the other group feel like it is our time to enrich ourselves at the detriment of the people, and for that reason we will move forward. And they have colored themselves with the green and white, red, blue and red. Okay, if we're not careful, Mayborn, listen to me say this again. We said this prior to today's date, and we see what is happening today, where no one becomes a hero. Oh, Liberia is the only country where all you need to do is either still run your loud mouth or simply insult people profusely to gain public relevance and recognition. Our relevance or popularity is not based on impact, societal impact. What have we done, whether it is globally, nationally, or even just in the local community? How impactful have we been? Positive impact. We don't focus on those things. I can make several references to people who have become overnight celebrities and heroes and heroines in our community when you are to do thorough evaluation of their characters. You wonder to yourself, but what are we thinking and where are we going? The Henry Costa, the Martin Colley, okay? The prophet that is now in jail.
Yeah. So Lofa will come to all of these things. Please let us not just jump onto most of these things. We'll come. Thank you, Lofa. We have other panelists. In fact, today we have Fanta. Fanta will also be in fact, she will be joining us very, very soon. So yes, thank you, Lofa. I think let's just make our conversation a little bit short today. We have Fanta Kamara also. Of the CMC, I think she will also join us here on the platform, but Ali is also here. So that quickly, there you welcome Ali. Then we will start the ball rolling. We have so many things to talk about. For me, it's just usual now that in Liberia, now that you just stated, it's very easy to become hero. That's all. But thank you. We'll get back to you, but in fact, Julius. Ali, good evening, my brother. Good afternoon, good morning. What's up, everything?
Good afternoon, Mayborn. Good afternoon, Lofa. Good afternoon, Mr. Bishu, to our listening audience and followers. Yeah, glad to be here. How's everything? Well, what happened to Mr. Bishu? I keep hearing him loud and clear. I'm hearing you, but you say you hearing him. You too. You say I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and you always saying that in fact I'm muting, I should unmuting. I don't know what happening, but maybe that is set up for your own studio. Maybe that was giving hard time, but again. Like you said, my brother. But again, quickly, let me just give one of the latest update. I think we are watching. Lofa, we will get back. I know you will talk about our behavior for us. That's just so simple. But again, Lofa.
Check in the bag. Someone is in the bag. I don't know that Mr. Dishu, Mr. Corner, or someone in the bag though.
I think Mr. Dishu already having already on the platform. Yeah. So quickly, let's just move quickly into our discussion this evening. We will be talking about the drug, in fact, the drugs that were arrested last evening, or in fact, last afternoon, rather, which of course had to do with the yesterday incident. The drug worth close to almost 370 million. There are a lot of, in fact, international media outlets that are carrying it. In fact, are making it drugs issue as the headlines to even talk about the DW Africa. Also, they are reporting that Liberia police have seized cocaine worth more than 370 million, with what authorities in fact describe as the biggest drug bust in fact in the country's history. So that will be one of our talking points here this evening as to who are those people that are allowing the drugs to enter our land. Who are those people that are making drugs in fact Liberia to be like a safe place now for drugs, and that will be one. Two, the Finabono situation at long last. After Jane Finabono yesterday, it was just so surprising. The same Supreme Court that have, in fact, Prophet Key in jail now for about 6 months. Finabono only slept in jail for one night, and the Supreme Court said Finabono should be released immediately. Now we are watching that Finabono finally, the Lofa Julia said, finally turning into hero. So maybe next it could be Samuel 12. So far, yes, Liberia will be turning 179 on Sunday. By the grace of God, that will be the 26th of July, and which of course will be celebrated on Monday, the 27th of July. But the country is very, very busy. There's so many things happening, especially with the issue of drugs. So yeah, Lofa, but Aliu, and the other Mr. Dishu. So far, these are some of the trending national issues back home here in Liberia.
Well, I would say from the Bono case, it was planned. We were already told that the $8 million bond was rejected, but we found the reason why. And the court had come to their own senses to realize that to put up an $8 million bond in Liberia, and the case was only costing about $6 million, that sends a different signal to the public and everybody. So I think the judgment replacing the decision, I think it was meaningful, and I think it gave them another look at what they're dealing with. On the drug issue, I'm sorry I didn't complete yesterday because of my workstation here, but there's a lot behind this thing. Maybe the $19 million case have not finished yet, and we got into this other big bust. As a security man, we're trying to figure out what is happening, whether it's one cartel or whether there's two cartels in Nigeria. Because the fact remains is that, maybe you hear me?
We get him, Mr. Dishu. Listen,
Okay.
yes, we listen to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. The fact remains is that we were just investigating the $19 million case. A lot of big names are coming out. And we don't know whether this other one here, whether it was distraction, because the other group have reported they don't want to be in mess and stuff who will create two cartels in the country, or the man from Sierra Leone still in control of both of the different groups. Now, the main question is that quantity that I saw, that the public saw, for that quantity to come into a country, will all be detected, it worrisome. The fact remains is that I don't think we will take out the airport side of it and we'll look at from the seaside what actually could have happened. I think that the guys have been set up in Liberia already. They already established. It's not to say they're looking for space. No, they already established. Now, the fact remains is that if the drugs were found in our country, well packed for export, as you can see it, I think that signals tell us that there is a factor within Liberia or our neighboring country that we're still trying to send our lenses to prove that the network from that particular head of the West African region, which is the boy who left from Belgium, the fugitive, that he's well seated there in Sierra Leone, whether he had established a cartel that had come over here, and because of the executive or whosoever that they had contacted for protection, that's what they could be like in Liberia. Now, well, there was a report stating that they had the Colombian consulate there in by the Freeport. Today, I watched the report from there. I was in the chat room of the person who was in charge, and he explained the side. But what I took out of that is that the consulate itself has a lot of depots that keep the frozen food. So that could lead to something.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Tishu. We will continue with that. So let's just manage with our little time. Lofa, what say you, my brother? We have these talking points, and I guess that maybe you have interest in either of them, the two, or which one I think you want to start with. Maybe that you want to talk about first before the second one.
Well, I want to talk about the the distraction from the possible arrest or prosecution of key contributor or perpetrators in the recent $19 million drugs bust. We are yet to get this result. Now, that does not negate the fact that we are excited that at least we have some exposure, right? We are now seeing that there are more drugs. It is now confirmed that when people are referencing Liberia as a narco state, they are not simply saying that this out of politics. It is realistic. My only concern here is I want us to retrospect a little bit and let us do it in chronological order. What am I saying? Let us look at what the point in time after our uncivil war, Milborn, and I'm trying to be real fast about this 2008 to 2026, who have continuously governed the state. Dominantly, it had been Unity Party. And these things don't start overnight. If you take a little bit of historical, backtracking to Guinea-Bissau, you will see that typically what is happening today is what happened in Guinea-Bissau. They started off little by little based under one government and then eventually returned and continued. Let's look at the timeline. 2008, the drug buzz was under Madame Saliv. 2010 to 2017, under Madame Ellen Saliv Johnson. December 2022, one bust under George Weah. 2026, Joseph Boakai. 2026, under Joseph Boakai. And I can give you all of these ordered. Now, the most recent one, which is what we don't have included. So let us think about this, Milborn. Is this coincident that under CDC, the Kush was taken over, we were not hearing much about cocaine. But under Ellen, it was dominantly cocaine. Then when President Boakai returned, it became dominantly again cocaine, and the Kush is now moving or getting out the way. But here is where I close. When President Boakai won the election, the first country he traveled to was Guinea-Bissau. And allegedly, the flight he flew on was actually sent to him by the Guinea-Bissau president, the president of Guinea-Bissau. If that is accurate, then my question is, what does Guinea-Bissau have so much to offer besides serving as that tunnel for drugs import and export? I'm concerned here as to whether this is a form of distraction. Remember, when drugs starts to find its home in a specific area, everybody want a piece of it because, again, it's a lucrative business. Everybody want to be a part of it. Everybody want a piece of the money. So then you have gangs coming in, just like you have here, the Crips and the Bloods. Everybody want to control territories. When they start to control territory, they would either tell on each other in order to make sure that one group controls the territory and the other group is not in existence. Could this be what is happening here today, where one group is telling on the other to distract the public from those who are actually pushing in, with permanent members of society being a part of it? This is what we're talking about. I want us to think about that part.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Lofa Julius. I don't know what Ali is said. Ali, what say you, my dear brother? Which one you want to talk about first? But I think I just talk about the drugs, then we'll close on the last. Yeah.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, we're getting you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Lofa, you and I, we are just on the same page. Because the United Party, if you look at the track record of Madam Saliv and that of Boakai 12 years, we saw this same thing happening about cocaine. 500 million. It was not 100, 200, 300, 400, but $500 million worth of cocaine entered the country under their watch. Under the watch of Madam Eddie Johnson, Joseph Numa Boakai, their presidential convoy was caught with drugs in it. At that time, what did Boakai say? Drugs can be used for recreation purposes. Under the watch of George Manuel Weah, another $100 million worth of cocaine came to the country. They were arrested, read to the port, and whatsoever. Today again, under the watch of the C. Joseph Numa Boakai again, Unity Party, May 22nd, they exported $8 million worth of cocaine out of the country. After that, June 8th, another $19.8 million worth of cocaine was to that one got busted. Yesterday again, July 21st, another 370 million worth of cocaine in the country. So the United Party see cocaine to be a lucrative business. They build a cartel. So today, when I saw Mo Ali post that they will make sure to dismantle the cartel that was built over the years, I said, yes, Mo Ali, I will agree with you today. This is my first time to agree with you. It was the United Party that built the cartel in the country, and nobody had that power to break the cartel but the United Party. And that is it. So under your watch, your 12 years, you people build a cartel to export cocaine into the country. And today you're back in power again. You're continuing the same thing. See that amount of cocaine. So Liberia is a narco state. And like Nova said, what Guinea-Bissau has to offer Liberia, that the first trip he made to go Guinea-Bissau, what did he go for? We know. When he came, I didn't tell the Liberian people anything, and the whole of Africa, West Africa, we know what Guinea-Bissau they are noted for. Yesterday, just we are bringing Kush, just we are bringing Kush. But under the watch of Joseph Barker and Jeremiah Kuhn, they are bringing the great grandfather of Kush, which is cocaine. And even America, they're fighting to get rid of in this country. One of the most dangerous drugs in the world, cocaine. So this issue, I'm very grateful to God that what Mo Ali said, they are coming to break the cartel. Yes, they built a cartel in Liberia, and they are the only people that can dismantle it. Nobody can dismantle the cocaine cartel and the drugs cartel other than the Unity Party. Because if you look at their track record, they have for 12 years, that's the business. Today, they continue with the city, the still cocaine business. So I will be grateful to God for them to dismantle the cartel so that we can have a safe country. Because under their watch now, Liberia is now a narco state. Thank you.
Great. Lofa, even though I have few questions, again, follow-up question to all of you, but quick, let me just say this. I don't know when the kind of incident happen or when the kind of thing happen, we play politics more than focusing and thinking about how to resolve or how to solve some of the problems. Instead, yes, because last evening, in fact, I was even surprised that the United Party, first time ever in their history to have press release on drugs. So I don't know whether my reverend can tell us, the public or the Liberian people, what happened to the $19.2 million worth of drugs that today that turned into another talking and no clear understanding. There was no press release. But yesterday, the United Party, they were able yesterday to have a press release. In fact, even linking one of the opposition person into the drugs, because according to them, the person left, or in fact, quote unquote, the building or the structures where the drugs were packed, or maybe where they were stored in, the person left around there. So in their thinking, maybe the person may likely have something to do with that. Are we solving the problem, or are we making mockery out of the Liberian people? Because Lofa, this is interesting. Even to that, if you go back to the drugs, the 520 kilograms of drugs. The 520 kilograms of drugs that I did talk about are worth close to $100 million.
That was actually right under the George Weah government.
Thank you.
Done in December of 2022.
Good. So let's move to that. Ali, in fact, Lofa, those of you who are mathematicians, because here in Liberia they say if you don't pass math, that means you will fail in WAS or maybe in WAEC. So Lofa, if 520 kilograms of cocaine equal to $100 million worth of drug, or maybe $100 million, sorry, then how come 236.6 kilograms of cocaine within 19.2 million?
Well, let me speak.
What kind of calculation is that?
So Mayborn, if you were listening, and to our listening audience, if you all were listening earlier, I think I alluded to this: the distraction, the attempt to distract the public from the reality. I can lay out a scenario-based analysis as to why I think this is a form of distraction. Why we appreciate the fact that the drugs is being, they are now exposing themselves, but they're also using this as a political game. This is how I can utilize this. I can say, in this analogy, UP wants to say, okay, we came to power. We have more drug bust than CDC did. But remember, these are the same group of people who yesterday were claiming $100 million worth of drugs having to have been found during the George Weah-led administration, meant that George Weah and his wife, Claude Marie Weah, were importing drugs from Jamaica, and it was being stored at the Jamaica Resort. So would it be fair, okay? Would it be fair then for us to say the fact that President Boykai consistent return to nightclubs where people are claiming those areas are actually being used to sell drugs? President Boykai for so many years have never been a part of such environment. All of a sudden, President Boykai returned from a trip that he's questioned about, and then he went to the nightclub. He didn't just go to a regular social event to support music and Liberian culture, but in the nightclub. So what I'm trying to get at here is simple. Could it possibly be the Unity Party is trying to distract the public from the reality to say we're fighting drugs because they know that that is a political bargain? That is a bargaining chip, because that is what they ran on. Now that you, Melbourne, often sit on this platform and talk about how Unity Party is not fighting drugs, they promised to fight drugs, they are now saying, okay, let us use this as an opportunity to put the people under the impression that, hey, we are really fighting drugs. But all honesty, we will keep these people for 2 or 3 weeks. We will hold them accountable. If you were to watch the video, when those guys were being arrested, were they not smiling? What drugs trafficker being arrested and you're smiling about it? Why the police are taking you into custody? I will stop at that note and just say,
yes,
not trying to fight this issue.
Yes, so 30 seconds. I want us to just listen to the Justice Minister for a little time and hear what you were going to say, or maybe what you will say in the latest press conference. Please, let's hold on a little bit, please. To our team, let's hold on, please.
On Monday, Black 2026.
But maybe current gone. Why we can't see your face?
National Security Investigative Task Force, acting on information developed during the ongoing investigation, arrested and detained several persons of interest for questioning in furtherance of the investigation.
Well, the Lofa that you're asking, my brother, yes, I'm still trying to, okay, let me see on the other side, because it's not easy. I really want us to get the entire press conference, because I know that it will be a little bit short. I don't think it will be that long. Okay.
Victoria,
sorry to our people there. Let me see.
Victoria, I understood every word in the question Milborn asked, and I chose to answer it the way that I feel people will understand better. Mama.
During the operation, investigators recovered Serbian national and the other with dual nationality, Colombian and Spanish, were taken into custody in connection with the seizure and assisting investigators with the ongoing investigation. The names are being withheld at this stage to protect the integrity of the investigation and all ongoing investigative activities. In addition to the suspected narcotics, investigators recovered several items considered relevant to the investigation, including diving suits, the firearm, GPS tracking devices, a drone, Starlink satellite internet equipment, and other materials. These items have been secured and have been examined to determine their purpose and potential connection to the suspected narcotics trafficking operation. The investigation remains active and is examining the origin, ownership, transportation method, and intended destination of the seized substances, as well as the identities and roles of all persons who will be connected to the operation. Investigators are also examining possible domestic international networks, logistical arrangements, financial transactions, and any other forms of facilitation associated with a suspected shipment. The investigation has generated significant evidentiary leads. They have indeed revealed an organized, sophisticated, complex, and well-funded narcotics trafficking network. They also revealed that this network, they have been operating abroad for a considerable period, more than 6 years. Given the quantity involved and the circumstances surrounding the seizure, the Joint National Security Investigative Task Force is pursuing all available investigative leads to determine the full scope of this illicit narcotic operation. Cooperation with relevant national and international law enforcement partners will be pursued when necessary to identify additional persons, networks, or jurisdictions connected to the investigation. We want to thank them for their continuous collaboration and support. As the premises in Glasgow was used in the commission of offenses under the Amended Controlled Drugs and Substances Act of 2023, it will be confiscated and forfeited in favor of the government and bureau as provided for under said act. The vehicle which was used to transport the drugs will also be confiscated and forfeited in favor of the government and bureau as provided for under said act. The Joint National Security Investigative Task Force are also being instructed to take similar actions against the resident of Mr. Paul King, located at BP Road, where the drugs seized on June 8, 2026 were stored, picked up from, and transported to RIA. We want to caution the public against speculation regarding the identities or probability of individuals who have not been formally charged. Persons currently being questioned or investigated are presumed innocent unless noted proven guilty in accordance with law. Their arrest and detention as persons of interest does not constitute the finding of criminal responsibility. Information will be released only when it can be verified and when disclosure will not compromise ongoing investigative activities or future persecution. The government of Bureau remains resolute in its determination to prevent the Bureau from being used as a transit corridor, storage location, or operational base for illicit narcotics trafficking and transnational organized crime. Any individual, regardless of nationality, position, or status, against whom credible and admissible evidence is established, will be held accountable in accordance with the laws and properties of that Bureau. We assure the public that no individual, regardless of status, influence, or affiliation, will be shielded from accountability where the evidence establishes criminal responsibility. The Joint National Security Investigative Team assures the Bureau public that the seized substances and other pieces of evidence are being maintained under established evidence management and chain of custody procedures. Further information regarding laboratory findings, formal charges, and additional arrests will be released as the investigation progresses and when legally appropriate. As the investigations continue, we call upon all applicants to allow the justice system to perform its constitutional mandate or interference, speculation, or prejudice. The public is encouraged to remain calm, avoid circulating unverified information, and cooperate with law enforcement authorities. But to go even further, this matter should be of concern to every citizen because narcotics trafficking is a serious threat to society and national security. It corrodes institutions, corrupts public systems, and destroys our youth. Therefore, each citizen should start to look around his or community and workplaces and start conducting lifestyle audits of their relatives, friends, acquaintances, co-workers, and questioning the source of their wealth that is enabling them to live above their incomes. Anyone with credible information that may assist the investigation is encouraged to provide such information to the appropriate security authorities. Measures are in place to ensure that witnesses can provide information without fear of intimidation, retaliation, or interference in the public forum accordingly. In closing, the Ministry of Justice remains unwavering in its constitutional duty to uphold the rule of law without fear, favor, or pressure. Justice is not measured by the speed of the investigation, but by the rigor of lawful investigations, the quality of admissible evidence, and the integrity of prosecutions that will restrain judicial scrutiny. The Joint National Security Investigative Team will provide further updates as material and verified developments become available. Thank you.
Wonderful. There you have it. Thank God, at least our government, they were able at least to talk to us. And so some of you would listen, even though from the beginning we were struggling, we were not really able to get some of the statements from the beginning. But again, thank God, at least the Minister of Justice said that all of the people that have been arrested or whosoever, they are not found guilty yet until the court. So when they go to court, if the court say they're not guilty, well, and then we leave it with God. But again, in the country, we have Sis Fanta will join us. Fanta Kamara also, she already here. She will join us here. Okay, good. So I don't know, and I've been listening, and maybe you want to give your input quickly from what our Justice Minister just said before we welcome our sister first. I don't know, maybe we can welcome her first. Sis Fanta, good evening, good afternoon, good morning.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mayborn. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you are better 100%.
Hello, everyone.
How are you? How are you? You can bring audio in, Bond. Bring audio in. He's in the background.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Fanta.
No, I was just saying hello to everyone. It's good to be here.
Okay, that's great. And thank God too that you found while you were coming on, you were also listening and following the live event.
Fanta, salam alaikum. Welcome.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much, Aliyu. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. What brought you here today? Because they give our $370 million now. What brought you here? We giving you some.
Well, I need some, man. I need to pay off my student loans, you know.
Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, Lofa. How are you? Hello, Melvin. How's everyone doing?
How are you doing?
How are you?
Good.
And I enjoy all of your comments coming in from the live press conference. Some of you who are commenting, that's good. You know, we got to agree to disagree, and we got to have our own input because all of the people who are into the viewer positions, they are working for us as people, especially from Liberia.
Let me go get my sunglasses too. There's.
Okay, look. No problem.
All right, so yeah. Ali, I don't know, you were following quickly, Ali, before we join our sister. You were following the live press conference. What you take from there?
Yes, I follow the live press conference. Yes, I listen to the Justice Minister. But you can go ahead. Yes, I will come later.
Great. Mr. Dishu, what say you? What you got from the live press conference from the Minister of Justice?
Well, this is another style of distraction. That's what I believe. What happened is that we have a conflicting style of investigating or being selective in our investigation. The $16 million worth goods that were caught and the investigation were on, you find out that the trend of how they try to get the evidence compared to this one that's happening now is completely different. That's why from the start I said that I don't know, or we're still trying to investigate to find out whether it's one or two cartels that have been controlling the drug business in Liberia. Whether the $19 million people have shared some intel or some information to the security forces to have this other group busted. So we're still on this particular matter, find out the facts. But what I picked up from the minister is that some interesting things that I heard. He said that they confiscated Doom. Now, that indicates that these guys are really set up there in Liberia and elsewhere. If they having a Doom, that means to say they could have been controlling their goods off of the ship to the kingdom or whatever boats that they have to bring it inland, or they have this Doom to control where the goods are stored or something like that. I think through that, the government should have enough information and should be on top of this. Because the fact remains is that we still have not heard any big person in this thing yet. There's no way you can have 300 and something $1 million worth of goods into your country and you don't know how it got there. That quantity proves a whole lot. It proves they have protection. It proves that it was well secure. It is proven also that the contact that brought it to Liberia has some kind of surety that it being in Liberia or whatever is being done in Liberia is being well protected. So this is the form and start of the cartels, and we're still trying to get to the bottom of it because we never get to know except we know the source and the root of this particular goods. Now I have to contribute at this moment, so let me hear from the others.
Thank you, Mr. Dishu. So let's go back to our sister. Yes, Kamara, Miss Kamara. Thank you for joining us again. I guess you've been following. Maybe you want to start up from there when it comes to the live press conference from the Minister of Justice. But first of all, how everything? How you going on? Everything? How the entire situation maybe from CMC and all of the political holding and putting the political people will say the noise. How everything? Are you moving? Are you strong into politics, or you still observing the entire political terrain?
Oh yeah, I am not a politician. I would never be a politician. I think the field is quite rotten to the core. There are a lot of maggots in politics, and it's quite unfortunate because political leaders are supposed to have one role and one responsibility only, which is to address the grievances of their populace. Instead, they exploit the populace for their personal gain and personal enrichment. And so I am absolutely not cut from such cloth, would never be. Therefore, I remain a Liberian and remain committed to lending my voice to the voiceless and my voice to issues that are truly plaguing our nation. So that's my response when it comes to politics. I am absolutely very far from that world. I will be pursuing leadership come 2029, but that's again very different. Why I'm here today it's not just because of this bust, but it really has to do with the lies, the manipulation, the social conditioning, the psychological manipulation that is being orchestrated upon our people. Look, I run a show called FK Uncensored. It is a podcast, very much uncensored and unfiltered, because many have tried to censor me, but as God has made me, and God made me, I am always uncensored, unfiltered, and uncompromising, because in this day and age, more than ever, we are required to be very much vigilant when it comes to truth telling. It is the only thing that can save us. The fear of God has to be what we walk with day in and out, because clearly our leaders has absolutely no regard for any of that. They will lie, steal, cheat, and kill to maintain what the little that they have acquired, right? Their mansions, their cars, their this, their that, their Gucci bags, and what have you. They will kill their citizens for that, and that's exactly what we're witnessing. Look, let's just state something that is unequivocal. Liberia is a cartel state. Liberia is a narco state. Liberia is this much far away from becoming another Guinea-Bissau. I want to repeat that. Liberia is this much far away from becoming another Guinea-Bissau. Why do I say that? A couple of weeks ago, I did a show on my podcast covering the extensive history of drug trafficking in Liberia. See, a lot of us don't read, a lot of us don't research. So oftentimes when the government comes up with, oh, we have made a bust of $19 million, it is so over sensationalized that we're like, oh my gosh, we're clutching pearls. $19 million, that is so astounding. No, it's not. It is a distraction, because Liberia has been engaging in cartel activities and drug trafficking for over 20 years. Read my lips, 20 years. And evidence are there. You talk about 19 million or even 300 million. The amount of drug bust, the amount of drug that has been intercepted in Liberia is over $1 billion. Did you hear what I just said? $1 billion worth of drugs have been trafficked through Liberia and exceeding that. And all the evidence are there. So when they come on this performative, theatrical, right, stage, like to try to fool the public and pull their attention here and pull their attention there, that's exactly what it is. It's performative. Because our drug problem did not begin just a few weeks ago with the RIA, quote unquote, 90 million drug bust. Did you forget that just 2-3 years ago, the Topo Village Costa Rica bust that was over $100 million? Did you forget that? What happened to the people that they quote unquote arrested? The Guinea-Bissauan, the Lebanese guy, the Liberian guy who was involved. What happened to them? According to the courts, according to the justice system, right? They disappeared. That's what they said. They disappeared. Look this up, people, because we have to learn together. The more educated we are, the more we understand that they cannot just pull blinds over our eyes. We are thinking, fully functioning human beings that God has blessed with faculties. Let's put them to use. Let's put them to use. They are deliberately poisoning the youth of this nation. You know why that is? Because they want you to not participate actively in the construct of your nation. They want you to have absolutely no intellectual integrity, no intellectual ground to stand and even compose a simple sentence or even question them. That is why. The evidence is there. I'm happy to outline the 20 years. And from Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to George Weah to now Joseph Boakai, it is all there. In fact, Ellen Johnson during her first term, and please look this up, I quote or I paraphrase, the type of narco activities that is happening in Liberia is infiltrating our politics. I'm paraphrasing. She said that. Fast forward 12 years later, and Joseph Boakai was her VP. Fast forward, this was her first term, not even the second term. Fast forward into the Weah's term, Joseph Boakai, former VP of Ellen, is coming out and saying Liberia is a narco state. Please look this up again, right? And then fast forward into the Boakai's administration, we're seeing the narco activities continue. And you want to tell me, and you want to get me all riled up about $19 million? It's a charade. It is farce. Let me tell you something. When the first, in 2006 was when the first or one of the first drug busts happened. For those who don't know,
you're talking about the back-to-back the drug bust that happened maybe the last month, the 19.2 million. Or you talking about
She
which one?
talking about all the way doing Eddie and Waka first time. They are first doing the administration of Eddie and Waka. That's
So
where
okay,
the whole
500.
cartel started in the country.
Look,
Yes, I think 500 million worth of drugs, right?
$500 million worth of drugs. Look,
Yeah.
I have, if you can even share the screen, I have the photo up from the Daily Observer. Thank you so much. I come with receipts, guys. This is not like, this is 08, right? Like, if you see the date there, it says October 14, I think it's 08 or like 06. Over $500 million. What happened to those people? They disappeared. Year after year after year, even her driver was caught with drugs. What happened to him? What happened to the guys that were arrested in the Tobo Village bust? What happened to them? Look, the French Navy intercepted nearly $1 billion worth of drugs entering the Liberian waters. For Liberia, who claims to have this prestige in the maritime space, Liberia has one of the largest shipping registry in the world. Every ship in the world, nearly every ship in the world flies the Liberian flag. What do Liberia get for it? It doesn't even own a single vessel. I mean, what world are we living? This is dystopia. And they're trying to make this seem as if to say this $90 million or $100 million, like, is the biggest bust that we've ever seen. It's a lie. The justice system is corrupt. Our security apparatus are corrupt because they're all enablers. This is per the U.S. security report. The U.S. security report. And I will find that image and share this here with you. The LNP, the NSA, the all other security agencies, the immigrations. Just few weeks ago, immigration officers were busted with drugs. They're all compromised. Even our legislative are compromised. So to sit there and put on this show and act as if to say the laws of the world, right? The Maymas of the world, the XYZs of the world, to sit there and pretend that they're unaware of the type of drug crisis that have plagued Liberia for more than 2 decades. It is sad and it is evil. Because it's like you know something, but you're trying to pretend to the public. You're trying to fool the public. It is psychological conditioning and manipulation that has permeated for more than 2 decades.
But the young people, Fanta, the young people who have been victim, though, they are the one sometimes supporting most of the politicians. Sometimes, even though when they are on the other side, when they see these kind of more bad things, but by the time their own government into position, then they no longer see these things. Yesterday, people were dancing to Kuch. How come that we're having Kuch grandfather, or people will say the grandfather of Kuch now in country, and the issue of people standing up now becoming maybe SARS or choosing which time to protest or which time or which side you want to go to. So do you think, in your own thinking, do you think that people are going to succeed in the fight against drugs, or we are just managing and just seeing these things and allow sleeping dog maybe to go away?
Yeah, no, this is not going to go away. This is not going to go away for a very long time. Look, you talk about when we look at the drug history, where we continue to examine the timeline of when drug trafficking became a problem in Liberia. We have to look at a few things because these things are not isolated. Drug trafficking is linked to human trafficking, is linked to money laundering with all the casinos. Those 3 things, drug trafficking, human trafficking, and money laundering, are all brothers and sisters. They are cut from the same cloth. One cannot exist without the other. As long as the casino stays in Liberia, the casino is the money machine, right? Because when you want to do illicit activities, you have to use cash. It's very difficult to use electronic or digital transactions, even though some of our banking systems are compromised. That's a different story for a different day. Trust me, they're very compromised. But you need the casinos, right? You need the casinos to be able to funnel the level of the amount of drugs that is being moved in the country. Look, just one more thing. There is a documentary out there that DW did, DW News, where they cover the drug epidemic in Liberia. I mean, this is one of the saddest as a Liberian, it broke my heart. I could not sleep for nights after watching this documentary. Please, I encourage you to go and look it up. It's done by DW. It's probably like less than 30 minutes, so you can spend that time to watch it. It is very important. Please go watch it. It shows the epidemic of drug in Liberia that has plagued especially the youth, where I mean, we've seen this. They're living in graveyards, like they go literally move the body, like they will move into the graveyard and inhabit it as their home. When they get sick, they stay in that same grave, they die. Their friends are laying right next to them. Then they take the bones and like grind it and mix it with the kush, which is made from like materials that are used for embalmment, right? So it's really going to that. I mean, they really get into it. They also mentioned, they also interviewed, just quickly, they also interviewed General Budneke, right?
Yeah.
Wait, just 1 second, Mayborn. Budneke, who mentioned that during the war, that their ritual to get into war, because he had tens of thousands of child soldiers. They reformed pastor today. Tens of thousands of child soldiers. What he used to do to prepare them to go to war. Number one, they used to sacrifice a child, where he will cut the child's heart into pieces and get the children to eat it. Then he will go on the sea, the Atlantic, and meet with the Mexicans. This is his word. Please look it up. He will meet with the Mexicans to get the drugs, the cocaine, the heroin, the what have you. Then he take it and give it to the children. That's how they will build up the courage to then eat the baby's heart. Liberia is very traumatized. And the drug epidemic is just another layer that they have brought on to ensure the public remains dormant.
Well, thank you. So, Lofa, let me ask you, another Mr. Dishu, and another Brother Aliu. I guess you could listen to our sister, Sis Fanta, and maybe you have other questions to also to ask. But for me, I'm mostly concerned about security, Lofa. Our people, they are vulnerable, because if we have the amount of drugs now, the Ministry of Justice already make it clear to us that the drugs worth more than $317 million, and that drugs were taken from somewhere around the Dwason end in Mangibi. So let's move forth with the issue of security. Are we really on top of our games, Lofa, or we are just managing with security and just do things while the cartel continue to infiltrate, or maybe penetrate the security network, or maybe do anything that they think they want to do? Are we really having that kind of security?
Lord Mayborn, until we can find ourselves a leader who sincerely believes in true transformation and not politicking, we will have to deal with this nonsense over and over. Remember when we initially started the conversation, I chronicled previous drugs events, an incident, and I think my sister Victoria was like, okay, Lofa, you probably didn't understand the question. I understood the question, but I thought we needed to make reference, just like Fanta just did. These are all things we cannot ignore. The politicians, as I refer to them, are purposely doing these things to keep us distracted. Our people are vulnerable. They don't have security. There is no security anywhere to protect our people against these things. How often do you see the government speak on rehabilitation? Where are the sites for rehabilitations? How are they being reincorporated into society? How are these people being taken into consideration? These things are not being discussed. What job opportunities are available for these young people to take advantage of? Even if a young man has been rehabilitated and you say that person must be reincorporated into society, what are you doing to occupy their mind so that they're busy and don't, get to the point of relapse? Because the busier you are, the possibility is you're not going to have to think about doing something. You want to isolate yourself from that kind of environment. You listen to Fanta just say, our brothers and sisters are sleeping in the graveyards. We know these things. Mayborn, I told you this. I don't want to sound redundant. Okay? This is the reality. This issue of this drug bust is a game. One group of people come in and say, let us play it off to the people so they think that we're doing something against it. The end result is what you would never get. The end result is what it's a distraction from the failure. The fact that this government came to power, they could not provide, they could not live up to all of their promises. Maybe you are a journalist. As for me, I'm just a mere presenter and I'm contributing to the conversation. Last night, on my podcast, I played an entire documentary on Guinea-Bissau. Just like Fanta, it appeared as though Fanta may have been listening, right? I played an entire documentary on where Guinea-Bissau came from and to where they find themselves today. I also referenced the President Joseph Numa visit to Guinea-Bissau. And nobody wants to take these things into consideration. We are so polarized. This is all about politics. The handful of people who benefit from the government in power at the time, they will defend everything that is done and make it seem as though it is glamorous. In all honesty, in all reality, we are vulnerable and it could get worse. Because when it gets worse, Mayborn, you will have to now defend your child, your daughter, against having to be a part of the cartel because there will be gangs. Gangs will have to be controlling the areas where certain drugs are being sold. And you don't want your child to be in that area because some of us who lived in areas like Staten Island, Park Hill, we saw what was happening where we had Crips and Bloods, and you have to live in the midst of them. You don't want to experience that. And we're praying that that does not get to the point in Liberia.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Lofa. So I don't know whether some of you grab some of the things that the Ministry of Justice said, or you found the Justice Minister said. The Justice Minister also talked about the quantity, or what you may call the drugs. There's about 3,971 kilograms of suspected cocaine, value at about US $317.68 million, and into that also in talk about the two foreign nationals also that were arrested. They were having some firearm, drone, GPS device, Starlink equipment, diving suits, and other items believed to be linked to international drug trafficking network. And he said that the authorities say may have been operated in Liberia for more than 6 years. We're talking about 20 years. The men now go back to 6 years. So in fact, when you even look at this now, you'll be sensing and little politics into it because I know them. They always want to find political way to to find things. But Mr. Tishu, you have anything to say before I go back to Sis Fanta on the in because this is interesting. And our people now, they are concerned. They now laying down their livelihood because I don't think now the government will be focused anymore on the economy. I think Fanta, I think it'll just be about the north, from north to the well, Mr. Tishu was saying you were very interesting.
Well, I would just pick up from what Lopa said because I think Fanta did everything, all of the different things about this drug business and try to show us present some references to prove about Burkina Faso. But let me share my experience with you also, because we all hear things differently, and we try to put the dots together. The DEA actually got into West Africa in 2017. The reason why they got into West Africa was the same Burkina Faso, Niger, and Guinea-Bissau, where the drug trafficker, after they could not make it much here in Europe and the Americas after claiming, they decided to use the West African coast, and that's the land they decided to offer first. So they have were dumping the things there in that particular area, and much information was not heard of until they brought in a plane. This plane had almost about $10 million worth, about 10,000 kilos, right, of goods that was into that particular plane. It landed there in Burkina Faso and Niger area. when the information hit the national scene, that is when America sent the DEA over to the African coast to find out what actually happened. That when they discover the new route that these guys were bringing the goods into. That particular plane was put on fire after they put the goods out. They put the plane on fire and burned the whole out. They didn't want clue or evidence or something like that, but the DA took that as a major step to the drug trafficking in West Africa. So they decided to block that particular area. Those three countries, one of them had a coup. They had coup there in about 7 months. You could tell that the coup was all done by the drug sales people. One general will come in, he will be the president, the other person will come in and eliminate him. And because everybody was taking a bite off what the cartel was offering them. Now, how they got into West Africa, which is Liberia and Sierra, when the DEA had covered up most of the operation there, they decided to move the route into Liberia and Sierra Leone, which they were going to be using the waterway. Now, because they noticed that we don't have no kind of logistics, or we don't have the materials to stop any kind of trafficking into these two vulnerable areas, they use these areas. Because it was when this boy who left us, who is wanted in Belgium for 8 years and wanted in the Netherlands for 24 years, Boris took advantage and went to Sierra Leone. And got married to the president's daughter. Now, you're talking about Burkina Faso. Yes, Joe Boga went there. But you're giving a light to find out what is the dot that we should put together. In Burkina Faso was one of the first places that our president went to. What connection did he get out of there? To have worked with his own main man next door, which is Madame Bio, on the drug business. Right now, there is everything we the Europeans, we have put
Mr.
up
Deshir, you're
in
kind
the
of breaking up. Check your mic.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I was saying that, but you guys said you were getting him. Yeah. So okay, so Mr. Bishop, we got to wait a little bit, Mr. All right. Yeah. So let's go back to Sid Fanta. Yeah. Fanta. I think that you listen to. Yeah.
Oh,
go ahead.
Are you there? Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Melbourne, like I said from the beginning, and I will say this: the Unity Party, they established the drug cartel in Liberia. I think Sis Fanta just alluded to that when she started bringing up all the history since 2005, and Lopa started the same thing. And when
I think somebody would say, I think someone would say maybe because of the war, because of fought war though. So,
my brother,
so myself too, I will also want to agree to that because of the war, we fought war. So many things happen and things will happen. But now, how can we now control things? I think
those people were the one that established the cartel, and they are the one that can break it. They're the ones started. They know how to build that foundation. They're the one can break it. And since Pastor talk about casino, maybe see Eddie for 12 years, see George we are 6 years, and right now back at 3 years. See the amount of casino that in the country. This is how the cartel can work. When they are somewhere, you will see a lot of casino. That how they can do their money. They invest their money in casino and things. That's why in the country now the amount of casino that in the country right now. Look at it. This is how the cartel can work. You see, those people they really need to see those people that own those casinos. Where are they coming from? We have to be very careful. They just issue that today you see the happy press conference. And I will say this government, they know what they are doing. If the government, those people, when they were in opposition, they were hearing myself, what's going on? When they were in opposition, they knew how drugs were coming into the country, who were bringing drugs. But today they are in power, we don't know how the drugs entering the country. Why? And you are asking about security. Maybe that's a good question. If we put in all the money into NSA, but we know how the drugs entering the country unless the American government give us into and say this is happening, this is happening. Why are we having security for the country is vulnerable? That people can just do everything. And when you listen to the justice minister, those guys had drones with them. That tell you that the cartel is ready in the country. For those men to be having drone in our country, something is happening. And you can't tell me those guys will be in our country without no government official or big heads knowing about it. How they got visa to Liberia? Who scrutinized those guys because they didn't decide to come to Liberia? This are thing we had to look at. And this guy like in Sierra Leone, he was in Liberia. His daughter was in Liberia. Who his daughter was in Liberia with? This are thing we need to know. This is very important. Who are working your daughter in Liberia? This guy that on the run, they Dutch fugitive. He was in Liberia and his daughter was in Liberia. After the job boss, he took his daughter from Liberia. Who he get connection with in Liberia? We need to know this thing.
Thank you.
This government know about the cartel. They are the only people that can break the cartel.
Thank you. So, like you guys are already saying, if I say most of the thing, let's get back to Sis Fanta for today. She's our guest panelist. So we just want to give her a little time before going to the line to interact with our people. By 7:40 of our time here, we will go to the line to interact with our people. So at least maybe the next 8, 9, 10 minutes, maybe she can use that also with a few questions and so forth. But with the issue of casino betting errors and here and there, I think you guys are right. With so many entertainment centers, yes, these are things that they use. In fact, I've been receiving a couple of calls. That's true. But go ahead and say, Fanta, what say you with the security and also with the casino issue? I know you are getting more and more interest into the entire discussion.
Yeah, I just put more images in the back for you. 2 of them are highlighting the money laundering violations or confirmations from the casinos and the Liberia agency responsible for flushing out money laundering, right? So if you start with the image that says casino, if you just want to pop that on the screen, as weak as our institutions are, they have been able to find overwhelming evidence of money laundering in Liberia via the various casinos. If you want to put that on the screen, the image that says casino.png, you will see a list of casinos there. Thank you. You will see a list of casinos there. In the last 2 years, right? In the last 2 years, these casinos have laundered over $20 million, right? Small money. But the point is that even our as inadequate, as inept, let's just say it that way, as our institutions are, for example, the FIU, right, who's responsible for auditing these agencies and finding them, with all of the compromising abilities or methodologies that we know is within our system, they were able to find these casinos, right, for money laundering activities in Liberia. So this is evidence. So for those who are going to come and say, oh, where did you get that evidence from? Just go to the FIU. This is all Liberian entity FIU, right? Information. These are all the casinos that they have fined for money laundering. They have fined them nearly $6 million. 9+ casinos have been fined. If you want to put up the other screen there that says money laundering, the other image that says money laundering, the list continues a little bit backwards, right? So now we're getting into 5-6 years, and it says money laundering if you want to bring that image up. Again, Mayborn, these activities are not isolated. Liberia has a huge human trafficking problem. No, the other one, we're going to get to this one, but the other one that says money laundering there. Liberia has a huge, okay, let's just speak about this one quickly. This date here, I want to bring your attention to the date. It says June 1st, 2010. There was an operation conducted called Operation Relentless back in, again, Ellie's first term. This operation was led, quote unquote, by Fomba Salif, son of Ellen Johnson. Fonda Salif was contacted by some drug cartels from Colombia, from wherever. They reach out to him to push a lot of drugs through Liberia. Now, according to the story from the Guardian newspaper, and you only need to look this up, like it's not rocket science, you can just look it up. The Guardian newspaper go on to say, clearly lays out how he was accompanied by a Lebanese, by a Nigerian, by a person from Colombia. They were, so apparently he was a double agent for the USDEA. Now you have to think to yourself, right? Often double agents are people who are in the system, who are already working in the cartel business. And when the DEA wants to say, bring them on as state witness, they make them double agent, right? They said, look, we're going to look the other way, right? You do what you do. Once you can testify or give us access to the bigger bosses. This case in 2010 was the culmination of a DEA Fonda Salif activity in Liberia, right? Where he was part of it. They made him a double agent, right? To then have access to the larger Colombia cartel. In 2010, and this was since 06, 07, 08. In 2010, they finally brought the case to the United States Attorney Southern District of New York office, where this case was tried. If you see here, it says DEA Operation Relentless culminates in arrest of 8 defendants for conspiring to use Liberia as staging area for distribution of more than 100 million worth of cocaine. Son of President of Liberia, Fonda Salif, aka, acts as undercover in investigation. I'm just gonna leave you with that to like think for yourself. Again, nobody becomes a double agent unless they are a part of the cartel. Take from it what you will, allegedly. Let me just say that, right? But here is further evidence that Liberia drug problem didn't start today. So like miss me with the whole 19 million, right? Miss me even with the 300 million. We have had billions of dollars worth of drug come to Liberia for a very long time now. The image that I actually wanted you to put up, since I was talking about money laundering, was the next image. It looks a bit bluish there. It further lists out casinos who have been fined for money laundering in Liberia. Not this one, the next one. This is the list of 25 years of worth of invest. Yeah, this one. Thank you. In addition to the list that the white list I provided of money laundering in Liberia, this is in addition to that. This says 2024 alone. These were the casinos who the FIU, right? The Financial Intelligence Agency of Liberia, sorry, FIA, right? Find these casinos for money laundering. When you look to your right here, it says primary violation, lack suspicious transactions reporting program, primary violation for 50-50, lack risk assessment. The list goes on. Why the heck does Liberia have all these casinos? It is only because the level of drug activity in this country, is at the level that the citizens don't even know about. It has reached that peak that they need to move millions of dollars to do drug transactions within the region. Within the region. And I heard that that Ali was mentioning Burkina Faso earlier. It was Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau, per the UN, and is well stated, is Africa's first narco state. It is like narcotic activities is so deeply rooted in Guinea-Bissau. It influences its politics and has captured its state end to end. If Ellen can be the one to say in her, like back in 05, 03, 06, that the level that is concerning, that she's concerned for the level of narco activities influencing the policies or politics in Liberia back then, what do you think is happening now? You think the legislators like don't know? You think the senators like don't know? You think they don't know about it? These are all, and look, when you go to any casinos in Liberia, who do you see there? Who are the big boys in those casinos? There are DEA, there are NSA, there are senators, there are representatives. What do you think they're doing there? I want to ask you, what do you think they're doing there? You think they're just drinking beer? You think that's what they're doing?
And these are kind of, sometimes some of our people will go to some of the entertainment centers. Sometimes all they go for, sometimes they believe that it's just all about maybe the wine, the people selling liquor or alcohol. Maybe they just think out to it, but not new. Something is just beyond alcohol or even playing of gamble or playing other things that they call casino here and there.
Look,
So the Gambia,
the casinos, if you look at the owners, Chinese, Lebanese, Liberian, like one Liberian here, right? All foreign owned. All foreign owned. And look, it's not just on the foreigners. And for the current bus to reflect, oh, there is a Colombian and there is a Spanish person. Are you people slow? Like, are you really that, you think we are dumb? What language do they speak in Colombia? Is it not Spanish? So why is there a Spanish person? Then there's a Colombian person? Like, are you people slow? This is what they try to do to fool the public. To say, oh, there was a Spanish man, but then there was a Colombian man. Well, Colombians speak Spanish. There is no nationality such as Spanish. It's ridiculous. You can't even do identification correctly. And it just goes to show you that all of what they are doing is performative. It's not intentional. Look, the justice minister will stand and make this big speech. DEA will come and make this big speech. NSO will come and make this big speech. As we have seen, the trajectory of these performances have long been ongoing in Liberia. They arrest people. They arrest people, send them to the judiciary. They will say, "Oh, we couldn't find the people guilty." Oh, the people.
Okay, good. That's what I was coming to ask you as to whether maybe do you trust the judicial system?
Absolutely not. Nobody in their right mind trusts the Liberian justice system. Nobody in their right mind. Nobody, unless you're living under a rock. Look, this is not what Kamara say. This is according to even the U.S. State Department report that the Liberian justice system is compromised. This is not just one. Please look this up. It's public information, and that's why sometimes I get really upset at our people because they are so lazy. It only takes 2 seconds to go and do this research. Don't take my word for it. Go online and research it for yourself. It's all there. Look, every single year, the U.S. State Department publishes security reports on every country. It tells you the level of crime in that country, which crime is higher than which crime, how well are the infrastructures performing in that country. It tells you everything. And this is where I got that information, that there's no faith in the Liberian justice system. It is all compromised. And then one thing we also have to understand, and most people don't want to talk about this, and I really don't care. I don't care, because for me, it's Liberia first. And it's not just in lip service, like other politicians or politicians who just like to, oh yeah, we put Liberia first. No, you don't. You people are liars. Exactly. You are thieves. You are thieves, you are liars, you are conniving, you are deviants, and you will not hesitate to sell our children and our people for $1. Let me make something very, very clear to you. Very clear. The reason why this has permeated in Liberia is because of secret societies. Secret societies. Liberia is rigged with Freemasonry. You can't worship God and worship the devil. The people whose hands are in this are all members of the Freemasons. Why the heck do we have a country who cannot even afford to feed itself, has a huge Freemasonry temple on the most prime land? What do you think they're doing there? Why are children going missing every single day? Nobody can understand where these children go. Freemasonry requires human sacrifices. Please look this up. It is a devilish cult. And they all feel like they have to join it to excel. Oh, that my brother know, that my interest is out. Oh, no one who cares to know. Oh, no, my man, don't do the one. Oh, like, this is all what they do.
So that means, before Lofa and the other Mr. Tishu come on, maybe before go to the land to take a few calls, are you saying that there's no interest for country, people prioritize, maybe individual or certain society? Because even the religious people, are you saying that? Because we don't hear anything from them, none of the people. Then, in fact, I think the society is now losing trust, maybe in the religious people. Yeah. So I don't think they even depend on them anymore. Maybe they
are fake. The pastors, the imams, they are all fake. Look, there are the huge numbers of the pastors and imams in the country. They are also part of this Freemasonry, because they feel like they have to now politicize their religion. Any imam, any pastor who you find coming into a political party, that person is compromised. I will repeat myself. Any pastor, any imam who you find coddling themselves to a political party, that person is influenced and they are compromised. That person does not represent God. They represent that political party. They are influenced by that political party. It is that political party that feeds them.
But yesterday, a reverend representing the Unity Party have a press release yesterday. What's in Let me tell you something before I come up. I beg you tell you something without Unity Party.
I don't think we have time to get into these discussions. I'm telling you, look, our country is rotten. Mais bon, Liberia is, for a small country, Liberia should be like there should be no starvation, no hunger. Liberia should be a well-to-do, minimally middle-income country with the type of resources that we have. But the people are so wicked. The pastors, I repeat myself, the pastors and the imams who propagate for political parties are compromised, and their communities should lose faith in them, because you as a religious leader, your only goal, your only objective is to lead the people spiritually and religiously, not to conflict politics with religion. And that's how the fool people, because I go to the church here and my pastor voted for that person here. No, you are being fooled. Take a step back. Don't believe them. Look, this is how I tell, right? This is how I can tell if someone is truly a man of God or a woman of God, right? They're unaffiliated. They speak the truth. They lend their voice to society issues, irrespective of what anyone thinks about it. Because they don't bow to human beings. They bow to the one true God. That's how you know. If the Imam Council does not come and speak out, they're a compromise. If the church council does not come and speak out, they're a compromise. And I challenge them. I challenge them.
The Freemason people that easy. By the way,
so to say is a lie.
Let me talking about the Freemason being over here. The Fanta come out because
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to
talk about it.
Mebon, I think it's only fair. Sometimes I think we dilute the conversation when we start to take away from a forceful voice. And for the most part in Liberia, we the people, let me not say we, but the people have not resolved. They feel like they have been lied to time over time, where the likes of Harry Costa, Martin Colley, and other permanent Liberians who pretended to have been advocates and activists literally dashed the people hope from June 7 up until today's date, until they aligned themselves with political parties and then started to seek interest in what they feel like is independent. When the likes of Fanta is speaking, let her speak her mind so the people can understand the reality, because we need the likes of Fanta and other people to sincerely step up. Melbourne, we are not going anywhere beyond where we are. Our generation, we literally have failed. We have failed. If we don't do anything better than where we find ourselves today, all political parties are in cahoots. Let's be honest here. Let's be real about the conversation. Let's talk about this. Have you ever called Edwin Melvin Snow on the platform and you call someone else who you know is darn corrupt, and you ask them about that person? You say, "Oh, that's my friend, my brother." You call the Henry Costa, you say, "Oh, that's my friend and my brother." That's how they are running the entire country. They're not talking about the young people who are literally dying from starvation or curable diseases. When this woman or other women are speaking up, let them talk, because it will encourage other people to come and be a part of this. This politics is dominated by men, corrupt men who don't even believe in having to truly transform Liberia. So when I hear a woman speak, the way she's speaking, I sit back and enjoy and admire her to literally expose the reality on ground. And I think it's only fair. All sides of the token. Let's put aside politics. You asked about, oh, is this political? Yes, we can discuss the politics, but the reality on ground is the fact that the politicians that have tied the entire country, and that's why they are all friends and brothers until it comes to politics. Go ahead, Fanta.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. And we shouldn't even genderize this. I'm a Liberian. Look, when I say I am a Liberian, I live Liberia, I breathe Liberia. Nobody understands Liberia like nobody is more Liberian than Fanta Kamara. So you cannot put me in any box. I will not fit there. You will lose. You will lose completely. You cannot out-talk me. You cannot outsmart me. You cannot out-Liberia me. You cannot out-nothing me. So let me just establish that. Not just unequivocally. Let's just establish that. I was in Liberia before you, who are refugees, got on a ship and came to Liberia. My ancestors established what you call Liberia today. Let me make that very clear. So there is no contestation there around my legitimacy to speak about issues regarding Liberia in the way that I do. You have no right to question it. And the fact that you even dare means that you're psychotic. So I'm going to leave that with you. The last law that I want you to share here, Mabon, please, is the 25-year timeline.
Yeah, so quickly, we just wanted to take a few calls while we stay on the radio because we have a little few times on the radio. So let's just take maybe a few calls so that we can hear from our people, maybe 1 or 2 or 5 calls quickly. So we got the phone been ringing back to back. Our people really want to be part of the story.
I'm gonna get you check the private chat on the
yes.
the
Yes. Hello, go ahead, my brother. Quickly, please. 30 seconds or almost 1 minute.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Jeremiah Fiawe, and I joined the conversation from district number 6. Mabon, that sister that's speaking, where she been throughout?
In fact, you always come here only one time. Maybe because of the schedule.
That sister needs to speak more than that. Mabon, we need that sister. Like, we need that woman. That woman needs to, in fact, look, Mabon, please. I want that woman to take all of the station one by one and be speaking. At least just get that woman there 45 minutes. You need to speak there for 45 minutes almost every time on the show, Mabon, please. And the only thing I want to say today, I'm not saying anything.
Thank you so much, and she will always be here with us. Today's caller, good evening. Yes, my brother, go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Libasini, and I'm phoning for Chicken Saturday TV. Well, Mabon, the issue of this cocaine. Let nobody be fooled yet. The same group that the $19 million group of cocaine arrested, that's a continuous process, that's the same drug. There is no different drug coming in. The drug is brought in, he will show the case to be there, the rest will soon. There is the same cartel. So the first group is part of this drug because they stole all the how white people were born then. The first time when they arrested them, also for me, I don't believe that there's different drug coming. But the just a minute started that they started North and Yard. They started the cartel. They built that cartel so that he know what he's saying. They injected me for their embarrassment to the country and my brother. Thank you.
Thank you so much. David King, quickly, my brother. Good evening.
Yeah, Mabon, good evening.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Mabon, this is David King, an executive member of the Constitutional Library for Justice. I joined you this evening from the capital city of the cocaine state.
Oh.
Mabon, it is not something that we all should take for a joke. I think your guest panelists put it right. The proliferation of casino and a lot of nightclubs in the country, it clearly tells you that this is how people are selling our drugs and this is how they're cleaning their money through the casino and the nightclub that they got all watered down. So if we can hear the name of Park Private Bar to be part of the $19.2 million drug, that is just to tell you about other bars that can be kicking for illegal money.
All right, thank you quickly, my brother. To this caller, good evening.
Mabon, how are you?
Yeah, good evening, my brother. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mabon, and let me say good evening to our brothers in the diaspora. I'm Lawrence Spencer, and I'm in Johnsonville. Usual. It is very, very heartbreaking that the government that claimed during the years that they were coming to collect jobs and to do this and to do that. Today they are allowed countries to be the transfer point for this kind of a huge quantity of jobs. I mean, Mabon, it's unbelievable that today, I mean, when you go to BBC, when you go to all of the major national media, like Bureau, Images, Best Teacher, and these guys are here doing European Party and CDC politics with this kind of thing. I mean, so now, one of the kind of people in Liberia for budget this country to each other.
All right, thank you so much, my brother. Quickly to the last caller, then we'll cross over to our team.
Hello, Mabon.
Yeah, my brother, good evening. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we were talking about the drugs. We say to the time it's fun. Nothing there, another drug. So people the drugs are here more than stadium. So we're not listening. And it just proves to the brand that the more drugs are staying here. It's the more cookie are staying in this country.
All right.
We are in problem. See, the sisters are talking. We need more of them to talk. Those people that will go. The country are going on. The country is going down. The country is going down under this next government.
All right, thank you. We got to go. No time, and people, please beg all of you. Yeah. Tomorrow, yes, tomorrow we'll do more talking. This is Fanta. We have probably about 8 more minutes of our time here, so I think we can manage a little time. But people are recommending Ali. But once upon a time, you used to come, but maybe based on your schedule. So I think you're gonna do some adjustment again and be able to come. I think once in a while, maybe in a week, maybe you can come 2 or 3 times a week. That would be good for us, at least as a platform. But also our people, the widely listen. That's one of our strengths, especially in the evening. The Sktv is widely listened to across the country. There are a lot of radio stations that also relay us. So thank you so much for all you do. Any other thing that you want to add up and imparting? Fanta?
Yeah, sorry. I was on mute there. There is just a short, just really short excerpt that I want you to play. Is in the back, and then I have one more image to share. I want to share these two things, and then maybe 1 minute for my closing, because it tells you over the last 20+ years how the drug trafficking epidemic became an epidemic, into what is going to happen, what we can anticipate the outcome of this charade that the Justice Department, the Justice Minister, and whoever, the LNP and security apparatus are propagating to the public. So it's called BN Drugs Mexican. It's in the back there. It's about 1 minute or so. And then I'm going to share an image. Yeah.
As a witch doctor, once commanded the most feared force in the country, an army of children.
Most of the people I had were children, were very young, who were still virgin, and I took them from their parents. And we will go to the front, and I will hypnotize everybody on the front, all the enemy. They will see me, they will have guns in their hands, and they're not able to shoot because I have released my spells on them. And then the boys will go, to just kill them. So I was responsible for the life of at least 20,000 people, me and my fighters. It was with fear that I was leading them. A pre-battle ritual have to do with the heart of an innocent child and split the heart into pieces, and every child that will be qualified to go on the front line have to eat that heart.
Joshua Bly spread fear wherever he went, pumped full of drugs himself, wielding a weapon in both hands.
I used to go on the international waters and meet those Mexican ships, give them gold, give them diamonds, and then they gave me drugs and gave me ammunition. And when I bring those drugs, I give them to the soldiers at the time.
There is another quickly, is men in orange pants. Yeah, thank you. This is the outcome we can expect from this whole "we are fighting the drug cartel" performance. Just like how this is just 2023, as you can see the date here, Wednesday, 24 May 2023. These were the people who were caught in the Topo village, the Costa drug. I'm sure y'all can remember. It's just yesterday. Hundreds of millions dollars worth of drugs. These were the people who they say were responsible. Just how they are parading people right now. So we arrested a man, yeah, we arrest them. We're carrying them to the justice system. We're carrying them to the justice system. How the heck, as a functioning government who's ran by all the master degree, the PhDs there, the 40-year experience in government, the security, the security intelligence teams, how the heck the people who are responsible for hundreds of millions of dollars worth of drugs disappear. Liberian cocaine smugglers escape. How did they escape? If it were not for enablers of the same system. The report that I mentioned, the U.S. security report that's drafted by our U.S. security partners, clearly states the system is plagued with enablers. The security apparatus serve as enablers. Members of the government serves as enablers. Members of the elite serves as enablers. They all work in cahoot. I'm paraphrasing, but please pull that report up. So to think that this is isolated or it's just the Colombians and the Guinea-Bissauans and the Lebanese and the Nigerians. No, they need the immigration because the drugs come through the border, as we saw with the Bogotá border, with the Ganta border. It comes to the airport, RIA. It comes to the Freeport. Why is it that every single security apparatus or members of those agencies are not on trial? Why are we pretending to be hauling around? We bar push on there and calling them and pretending as if they they are the front men. They are not the front men. The front men are the elites. The front men are government officials. I dare any of them to come out and say Fana Kamara lie and try to sue me. You know what? You know what happens in lawsuit? There's something called discovery. I'm going to subpoena all of your communications that you will wish you never met someone like me. What you're doing to Liberia is disgusting. It is disgusting beyond any means. And you're doing it to your own Liberians. And then you sit there when election comes, you want to parade yourself and give them t-shirts as if to say, t-shirt is supposed to suffice for Mama who just lost her 18-year-old son to drugs. Look, Mabel, let me tell you something. 30%, this is the UN report. Back in 2012, the number was at, I think, 12% of Liberian high school students. Hear me clearly. 12% of Liberian high school students are abusing drugs, hard drugs. That's 2012. Fast forward to 2026, the number is approaching 35% of high school students in Liberia are abusing drugs because there is a proliferation of drugs on the market that are so cheap. 50 cents, 50 liberty. Why do you think the rape crimes are increasing today, especially against young women? Because they go to these nightclubs, they drug them. They will even be lucky for their parents to find their body the next morning. They've already messed them up. This is the society that we live in. They're intentionally and deliberately poisoning the youth so that they can be dumb, they can be sheeps, and they can follow them wherever they want them to. And as a Liberian, I say, heck no. I am a citizen above everything else, God first. But my commitment to this country will never be compromised for any of, they shouldn't even try to bribe me. And for those who may have ideas, we want to kill her, look, please do. We all bleed red. We all bleed red. But when you do that, you make me a hero. Trust me. You make me a hero and you a villain. What happens to the pharaohs of the world? How are they remembered? You will be the pharaoh and I'll be the Moses. Not claiming to be a prophet, but if you try it, that's exactly what you do.
Thank you so much. Even though Alexander Boniface, Emmanuel Hayes is recommending a lot of look, Emmanuel, the kind of confusion I'm looking for between my chairman and myself in homework. You're telling me that my chairman, I can listen to my chairman, all kinds of things. Even though today's Fanta is telling us that, in fact, we should listen to most of the people who do into all kinds of medicine business. Anyway, we are so people. Thank you so much, Fanta. Lofa, what say you? Before going for the day.
You know, let me again, I spoke earlier about diluting the water, so I refuse to do a similar thing. So I will leave it as it is, but just remind you all that as of recent, there have been certain permanent members of society who have been fighting for the seaport. Okay. Today, they know the reason why they're fighting for the seaport. That is the easiest way. The ocean It's an easy way to transport and export drugs out of Liberia. When I came on, I spoke about this and how we were able to chronicle exactly what is happening in Liberia. Mayborn, if the likes of Fanta and other permanent Liberian, or even if you are not known, don't stand up for Liberia, the handful of people, less than 1%, a lot of people hate to be associated with 1%. But let me say, less than 1% of the population will control your day-to-day activity. They will control the future, and they will control the future of the next generation of people. You will have no Liberia. But few of them will celebrate and say, Liberia sweet, oh, Liberia sweet. While you're struggling and you will remain in abject poverty, you will die from curable diseases. Wait for heroes and heroines while they enjoy themselves. They will play you every day. They will arrest 1,000 more. No one will get prosecuted because that is the game plan. Pretend and then extend. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Dishu. Anything you want to leave of you?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah.
I would say thanks to Fanta. She really deliberated on issues of concern, and I think she came up with a lot of research background in what she was saying. And I hope that she continued to be on the show so we'll be able to share our different opinion on issues affecting our people and country. And I have a lot, but I could not say much today because the time is over. I hope we'll start early tomorrow and start up with the topic of interest, this drug business. We have to continue with it. We have to go to the bottom line. Until then, I say good night to Liberian people, good night to Lofa, Fanta, and our listening audience. Good night.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And we hope and pray that Fanta always join us here. In fact, she will make her duty at least. She will find a little time. But tomorrow, maybe she will be around again tomorrow by the grace of God. Thanks to all of you, those of you who have called us, those of you that also call in, and those of you that also phone part, those of you who are also watching. Thank you so much for all of your support. Happy pre-Independence Day to all of you. Don't forget that the 26th will be on Sunday. We'll be making Liberia 179. Thank you so much. Even though Fanta say we are old, I don't know whether we are cool or we are getting there by the grace of God. We will get there. But how we're going to get there, that's the $1 million question. I think we got to do all of the things that we think all we can do. That is, we got to work hard in making sure that we change Liberia and make Liberia a better place. Thank you so much again. On tomorrow, by the grace of God, Steve will be here with us, or better say Mose, and the rest of the other team members will also join us tomorrow by the grace of God. Good night from our end, and thanks to all of our panelists for today. See you all on tomorrow.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to serve. Blessing that time and that effort are rest. The brothers giving us here and the promise of them. So welcome and life without again.
A lyrical health.
Master.
Play Paris, who make on you. I can't ask it if you been you. Say my journey, Tina get I say my yamo. And yes, I know money. And more I know. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Muscle Rider, Lofa, and Grandmaster.
And I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I delay ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I wanna play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget na ya to money. That's the baby, and I forget na. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah. Oh.
Sktv the best in Africa. Sktv the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the local and grandmaster.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking for podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and out part of the globe. Qualified people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Bacalu, from Maryland, Bonk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv the best in Liberia. Sktv the best in Africa.